For today's headlines, government allows dine-ins, salons in NCR Plus and other MECQ areas. Sputnik V jobs on the way to the Philippines. Meralco extends suspension of disconnection. Sandra Cam surrenders under hospital arrest. Defensor says Ivermectin pantry in compliance with government regulations. 4 attendees of Angel Locsin's community pantry test positive for COVID-19. Men's team hopefuls flock PNVF tryouts. Easterlies affecting the country. Good morning, I am Sandra Cam and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Friday, April 30th, and now the news. The government's pandemic task force allowed the resumption of limited indoor dine-in activities and personal care services in Metro Manila and nearby provinces starting May 1. Presidential spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque said the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases approved the Trade Department's recommendation to allow more business activities in areas under modified enhanced community quarantine. Restaurants, eateries, commissaries, and food preparation establishments may operate at an initial 10% of their venue or seating capacity. The IATF also approved the resumption of operations of beauty parlors, beauty salons, barber shops, and nail spas at an initial 30% venue or seating capacity in MECQ areas. Owners of the said establishments should require clients and service providers to wear masks at all times. The first shipment of Russian-made Sputnik V anti-coronavirus disease vaccines is now in transit to Manila from Moscow. After facing logistical problems in delivery that postponed the jab's arrival twice, Philippine Ambassador to Russia King Soreta said the 15,000 doses of vaccines will arrive in Manila by May 1. The initial batch of jabs are supposed to arrive last Sunday but was then moved to Wednesday. However, the Gamaleya Research Institute developed shots were not loaded on a Qatar Air commercial flight that was supposed to bring it to the Philippines. 1 to 2 million Sputnik V doses are expected to be shipped in May and 2 million for June. Sputnik V vaccines will be distributed only to local government units with facilities that can meet the required storage temperature. Sputnik V vaccines need to be stored in a dark place and a temperature not exceeding -18 degrees Celsius. Meralco customers get an extended leeway to settle their power bills anew despite the prolonged virus lockdown in Metro Manila and nearby provinces. The company announced on Thursday that it is extending the suspension of all disconnection activities in its franchise area as the Greater Manila bubble remains under the modified enhanced community quarantine. However, customers that with ability to pay are encouraged to settle their bills on time to help manage the cash flow in the energy supply chain. Energy Chief Alfonso Cusi said Sunday that paying power bills on time minimizes bill shock, which previously irked millions of customers. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Intero Sport. Elevate your journey.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
In other news, Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Board member Sandra Cam surrendered to lawmen at a hospital in Cavite after a court in Manila ordered her arrest in connection to the killing of Vice Mayor Charlie Yuson III of Batuan, Masbate 2 years ago. In a statement, Major General Albert Ignatius Ferro, PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Director, disclosed that Cam surrendered to members of his unit's arm in Calabarzon, where Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Nando Jr., Chief of the CIDJ Cavite Field Unit, facilitated her surrender in Dasmariñas City. Members of the CIDJ Cavite served the arrest warrant issued by the Manila Regional Trial Court against Cam, her son Marco Martin, Nelson Cambaya, who succeeded Yuson and as Vice Mayor, and 4 others. The arrest warrant issued on Monday was for the alleged involvement in the murder of Yuson and frustrated murder of his 2 companions in a shooting incident in Sampaloc, Manila in October 2019. Cam, who gained prominence in 2005 as a whistleblower against Weteng, had denied her involvement in the incident. 2 lawmakers on Thursday proceeded with their distribution of anti-parasitic drug Ivermectin despite the Department of Health's warning that only hospitals granted with compassionate special permit could give and distribute Ivermectin to COVID-19 patients. Anak Kalusugan Party List Representative Mike Defensor, who led the Ivermectin Pantry event in Quezon City, insisted that their group is complying with the regulations set by the FDA. FDA Director General Eric Domingo earlier said that he has no problem with the distribution as long as there will be licensed doctors who will give the prescriptions to the intended recipients. The event was also attended by Sagi Party List Representative Rodanto Marcoleta and a group of doctors from Concerned Doctors and Citizens of the Philippines, where they distributed free anti-parasitic drug Ivermectin capsules to some 35 pre-registered residents of Barangay Matandang, Balara. Each of the recipients must consult first with the on-site doctor and sign a consent form before they are given 10 capsules of Ivermectin compounded by Dr. Alan Landito. The scheduled arrival of 15,000 doses of Russia's anti-coronavirus vaccine this week has been moved next month due to logistical challenges, Malacanang said on Wednesday. Presidential Secretary Harris said the delivery of Sputnik V jabs on Wednesday night was postponed since there was no direct flight from Russia to the Philippines that meets the storage requirement of negative 20 degrees Celsius. The initial batch of vaccines developed by the Gamaleya Institute of Russia was slated to arrive in the Philippines last Sunday. Officials later announced that the supply would arrive on Wednesday night. The jabs will be distributed in Metro Manila and other areas with a high risk of COVID infections, which have storage facilities with negative 18 degrees Celsius needed to keep the jabs. We will be back. Stay with us.
Fiber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family, anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
sports, members of the men's national volleyball team showed up almost in full force in the second day of the Philippine National Volleyball Federation tryouts at the Subic Gym on Thursday. Mark Espejo, the main man of the silver medal winning team in the 2019 Southeast Asian Games, proved that the pandemic wouldn't slow him down as he delivered an inspired performance together with Desi Lopez, Jos Retamar, John Vic de Guzman, and 28 others who were split into morning and afternoon sessions. 40 players were invited to the men's tryouts with 8 begging off, including Brian Bagunas, who arrived in the country from his stint in the Japan V-League only recently and had to complete a 14-day quarantine. The women's volleyball tryouts were staged on Wednesday, with the beach volleyball tryouts capping the major PNVF activity on Friday. All participants went RT-PCR test, with the players wearing masks all throughout the tryout proceedings. The Easterlies weather system continues to affect Metro Manila and the rest of the country. It will bring partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers, especially in the afternoon or evening. Heat index in Metro Manila could reach a maximum of 37.5 degrees Celsius. That wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Kachibu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store and search for Kachibu Community. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store and Araneta Center. Again, this is Sandra Cam and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.